The world is changing. Thanks to advanced technology, new innovations are being delivered faster than ever before. Self-driving cars, gene editing, flying robots, but there's one change that could be bigger than the rest, and it's coming sooner than you think. Maybe even sooner than I think. I'm talking about mixed reality, and this isn't about the metaverse. Mixed reality will change the way we interact with technology and each other in the real world, just like smartphones did, and the internet before that, and computers before that. Want to know which companies are about to dominate this hot new market? My name is Alex, and I'll show you by looking at the science behind these stocks. Let's start with the basics. You're probably already familiar with augmented reality, or AR, which overlays digital objects and information onto the physical world. AR technology is already built into our smartphones today. AR has a wide variety of applications, even outside of gaming. Augmented reality lets us do things like quickly measure our surroundings or insert a digital object into a physical scene to see how it would look. That physical scene can even be yourself. You can use augmented reality today to try on clothing or makeup before buying it. You're probably also already familiar with virtual reality or VR, which involves a headset that covers your entire field of view to immerse you in a completely digital setting. But what you may not realize is that the global augmented and virtual reality markets are expected to grow at almost 46% per year for the next 5 years. Talk about a hot market. The VR market is currently dominated by Meta Platforms, formerly Facebook. Meta Platforms makes the Quest 2, which is a fully self-contained virtual reality headset, so it doesn't need a separate computer to power it. The Quest 2 retails for $300 to $400, which is actually a lot cheaper than most comparable headsets. In fact, it's almost the same price as most video game consoles, and most VR content today is focused on gaming. But that's about to change thanks to mixed reality. Mixed reality is where physical and digital objects can coexist and interact in real time. This isn't the distant future, it's actually already the state of the art in engineering and design today, across many industries, from architecture to aerospace and automotive. All kinds of new products, services, and experiences are made possible by mixed reality. It drastically increases productivity for creators and designers because users can create organically by using their hands instead of having to learn industry-specific software, tools, and processes. Engineers can swap parts and make adjustments to a model by interacting with it in mixed reality, and a connected piece of industry-specific software will track those changes in the background. This blows the doors off of commercial and industrial use cases because you can finally bring physical objects into a digital space. For example, pilots can bring real checklists into a flight simulator and use their real hands to check things off as they go, as opposed to having to use the VR controllers that we all think about when we think of video games. Or they can sit in a real cockpit and fly a simulated flight with the aircraft turned completely off. Can you tell which part of this scene is fake? It's actually the entire scene. That's the power of mixed reality. Mixed reality can even be used to simulate computer screens of any size and shape. Think about all of the different devices with screens that you have today. Your phone, your TV, your laptop or desktop computer, maybe an extra monitor or tablet off to the side. Why not just digitally simulate your entire ideal workstation? The possibilities are endless, and because headsets are smaller than a laptop, they're also more convenient. The headset I've been showing you so far is the Vario XR3. It uses two 12-megapixel cameras to pass video of the real world into the headset displays. It also has about the same color range as the real world, so photorealism isn't lost thanks to off colors or limited lighting and rendering capabilities. The Vario XR headset uses a built-in LiDAR to calculate the range of real objects in the environment and decide how to scale the virtual objects inside it, so there's no object jitter or flickering. And it has integrated hand and eye tracking to keep interactions as natural and fluid as possible. But there are two big problems here. First, the Vario XR3 headset is almost $8,000. These things are basically the Tesla Roadster of headsets. No one except for the wealthiest enthusiasts can afford these things right now. Second, Vario isn't a publicly traded company. So now let's flip the script and talk about some companies that are, and how they're about to make mixed reality a reality. A real reality. But also a virtual reality. Never mind. A couple weeks ago, Mark Zuckerberg revealed some new details about Project Cambria, the next headset from Meta Platforms. This is not the Meta Quest 3. It's a high-end, mixed reality headset with a focus on productivity, not gaming. The new headset uses Meta's Presence platform, which allows developers to incorporate video pass-through from front-facing cameras. Pass-through video has other benefits beyond just letting the user see their actual surroundings. One such benefit is better hand tracking, which is critical to recognizing smaller hand movements. Think about all the different tiny movements your hands make as you type, swipe, and tap on your touchscreens today. Now imagine a separate set of cameras that need to figure out what you're trying to do by looking at the back of your hand, or even where your eyes are pointing. That's a tricky challenge. The system will work the other way as well, by using interior cameras to recognize a user's facial expressions and relay them in virtual reality to help meetings and conversations feel more personal. Project Cambria is expected to come out later this year for a starting price of around $800. While that sounds like a lot, it's just 10% of the price of the Vario headset that I just showed you earlier. So professional grade mixed reality is about to become much more affordable, which I think will really increase its adoption. Mark Zuckerberg described it as a replacement for your work setup, so basically it's a laptop for your face. Rumors and leaks suggest that it'll be about as powerful as a Google Chromebook, and it'll run on Meta's Android-based operating system. And wherever there's an Android device, you know that there'll be an Apple device fighting for market share. Apple has actually made a lot of investments into augmented reality over the last 4 or 5 years. iPhones have had basic AR capabilities since the iPhone 6S. This was for basic AR experiences like adding filters to moving faces for social media and playing Pokemon Go. But since the iPhone 12 and the iPad Pro, Apple devices have actually had LiDAR sensors in them to capture range information. Adding a LiDAR to camera data lets the device fully map its surroundings, including range information, which in turn lets you do all kinds of interesting things. For example, you could place a virtual piece of furniture in your living room to see what it would look like before buying it. Or you could place a virtual model of a project you're working on a physical table, and it will be the right dimensions for everyone else who's looking at it depending on where they are in the room. For a while now, rumors have been circulating about Apple announcing dedicated AR and VR products. There are 2 separate products with 2 separate timelines here. The first is Apple Glasses, which will look mostly like a normal pair of glasses. These are for augmented reality and will be powered by your iPhone. The plan is to project useful information about whatever you're looking at onto the lenses of the glasses, as well as show your notifications without the need to fish your phone out of your pocket. The Apple Glasses are rumored to come out by the end of the decade, and by then we could expect similar products on the market from Meta platforms. There's also nothing stopping Google from iterating on their Google Glass project if they think there's a real market for it. And the same is true of Microsoft's HoloLens, which was priced at over $3,000 and was focused more on industrial and commercial applications, not directly for consumers. But Apple's second rumored product is a mixed reality headset. Just like Project Cambria, this headset is expected to be a standalone piece of hardware powered by 2 Mac-level M2 chips. And just like the Quest Store today, Apple's headset will have its own app store for apps that run on Reality OS, which is reported to be the name of Apple's operating system specific to mixed reality. The headset is expected to have 2 4K resolution micro LED displays and up to 3,000 pixels per inch. Just for comparison, current iPhone screens are at around 460 pixels per inch, so the screens inside this headset will have about 6 times the pixel density of an iPhone. That's because they sit much closer to the eye. Reports also say that users will potentially be able to control the headset in a variety of ways, including hand and eye tracking, as well as a finger-worn control device. It could also feature iris recognition for easy unlock, just like face recognition on phones today. The headset will feature at least a dozen cameras to track those hand movements, eye movements, and the user's environments. Front-facing cameras and LiDARs will pass information about the outside world to the user, as well as overlay digital information on top of it. Here's where things get really interesting. The same report suggests that Apple's headset will feature spatial audio, and that surround sound could be built right into the headband. That means people will sound different depending on where they are relative to you in the virtual space. You'll also actually need to get close enough to whisper to someone if you want them to hear you, but not everyone else. The flip side is true as well. There may be virtual 3D movies that you don't just sit through, but move through, and the sounds and scenes will adjust as you do. In fact, imagine if instead of just sitting through a movie, you got to move through a virtual world that has a story play out, and you as the viewer are able to follow different characters and experience the story from their point of view. That's basically the premise of the HBO show Westworld. Minus the whole robot apocalypse thing. Bloomberg describes Apple's headset as an all-encompassing 3D digital environment designed for gaming, media consumption, and communication. So it's basically an iPad for your face. Whether they call it Apple Vision or the EyeSight, it's clear that this product is getting closer to becoming a reality, a real reality, but also a virtual reality. Wait, did I make that joke already? Just a few days ago, Bloomberg reported that Apple's mixed reality headset reached a new milestone. It's possible that a consumer release could happen as soon as 2023. There's no doubt that the mixed reality market will take off once Apple starts selling a device for it, so that 46% compound annual growth rate that I mentioned earlier could be even higher once Apple gets involved. After all, the smartphone market grew by almost triple digits for the 2 years after the iPhone came out. So far, I've covered the hardware platforms that big tech companies are involved in. Apple and Meta platforms might compete for the mixed reality market in the same way that Apple and Google compete for the smartphone market today. But just like we see apps on Apple's App Store and Google's Play Store, we will definitely see apps launch on both Reality OS and the Meta Quest Store in the future. So one more company I want to talk about is Unity Software, ticker symbol U. I promise I didn't plan that. Unity Software is a platform where other developers can create real-time 2D and 3D content. They allow developers to create interactive experiences once and deploy them everywhere, from Android and iPhone to gaming consoles like Microsoft's Xbox, Sony's PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch. Over 60% of the top 1,000 mobile games are currently made with Unity. Additionally, its platform has been used to develop over 60% of all AR and VR content. See where I'm going here? 93 of the top 100 global game development companies are Unity Software's customers, including Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, Electronic Arts, Tencent, Activision Blizzard, and the list goes on and on. These are the exact kinds of companies who are going to want their products on every mixed reality platform, regardless of what operating system it's running. Unity supports everyone from huge studios that make multiplayer games requiring powerful computers all the way down to individual creators who just want to make a simple mobile game. But wait, I just said that Meta's Project Cambria and Apple's headset will focus on productivity and communications, not gaming. So why am I talking about a video game engine? Well, Unity is expanding their entire end-to-end business to other industries beyond gaming. At the end of 2021, Unity acquired Weta Digital, the visual effects studio founded by Peter Jackson, director of Lord of the Rings. In the process, Unity acquired hundreds of visual effects artists, tools, and assets like the ones they used on Avengers Endgame. Think about how good a studio has to be for Marvel to let them build these scenes. Combine that with their already dominant position in 3D, augmented, and virtual reality content, and I think it's pretty clear that Unity will be huge when it comes to mixed reality media, including games and movies that you can not just observe, but explore. This acquisition will also help Unity build photorealistic, interactive digital twins of buildings, cars, and other industrial design applications. Think about how these tools help product designers swap out parts and materials and see how different pieces of their products work together. Unity's platform is already used by 8 out of the top 10 architecture, engineering, and design companies around the world, as well as 9 out of the top 10 automotive companies like Honda, Volvo, and BMW. Think about real estate applications where you want to place furniture in a home to stage a virtual walkthrough, and can rearrange the house in an infinite number of ways with the press of a button, or even randomize the layout of the house altogether. Think about the medical applications, ranging from high-fidelity interactive 3D models of the human body to running training simulations for surgeries that allow doctors to try different approaches and reduce the risks for the real thing. Mixed reality could really be the next platform for computing because it brings together the best of the physical and digital worlds. There are just too many applications that would benefit from real-time 3D environments that are still stuck in 2 dimensions today, ranging from architecture and aerospace to medicine and even movies. I don't think it will replace the cell phone for on-the-go content and productivity, but it definitely can compete with your next laptop or workstation. And I think that Meta Platforms, Apple, and Unity Software will be at the forefront of the mixed reality revolution. But there's one tech giant that I think could absolutely dominate these companies if it entered into the mixed reality market. And if you want to know who it is and why, check out this episode next. And if you feel I've earned it, hit those like and subscribe buttons to let me know that you enjoyed the science behind these stocks. Until next time, this is ticker symbol U. My name is Alex, reminding you that the best investment you can make is in you.